Now for our activity weather report, Alliance meteorologist Eric Bellaire.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Eric Bellaire. I'm coming to you live from Melbourne, Florida, where we aim high to enjoy the pie. And today, I'm going to talk about the weather. I'm going to talk about the weather so you can all weather the storm when it comes to getting successful and becoming successful with the Alliance. But let's talk about the map. Right here, I'm going to let you know, there's a 50% chance this year, over here down here in Florida, 50% chance says that we got 50% of the top 10 producers coming out of Florida. We also have over here a 100% solid chance that the top producer of the company is kind of developing up here in this region. We got some 10% chances of top producers coming out of the Texas region, and then the Northwest has got a top 10% producer over here forming. There's a nice formation happening. I mean, the question is where are you at on this weather map, and what are you going to accomplish this year? Oh, by the way, we got a future forecast happening in Burlington, North Carolina come August. You got the heat coming to town in Burlington, North Carolina. It's going to be hot. August 1st to August 4th in Burlington, North Carolina. Yes, we want you there a day early on August 1st. Yes, we know family reunion starts on August 2nd, but August 1st, baby, we're going to have e-state planning happening, and we're going to teach people, even though it's going to be hot, we're going to teach people how to make it rain, baby. Teach people how to make it rain. So check it out. No matter the weather, whether you choose to participate in income-producing activities is up to you. That's true. By the way, look at the bottom. When you decide to participate in IPAs, you will make it rain, baby. You will make it rain. So check it out. Whether or not you participate is up to you. I cannot make you participate. Andy Albright cannot make you participate. Participation is up to you. Listen, real weather outside is precipitation. The real weather we deal with up here, participation is you, and both of them, precipitation and participation, can make it rain, baby, can make it rain. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. Listen, let me tell you something, too. I got to say this. When it comes to participation, to me, the definition of participation is, of course, being out there and getting involved and getting it done. But I love Mark Aceta saying, you get excited, you pay attention, and you never quit. To me, that's participation. Get excited, pay attention, never quit. Participation, baby. Make it rain. So, anyhow, again, it's not the weather outside we should be concerned about. It's the weather up here we should be concerned about. And we got to deal with this every day. Whether to go to family reunion. Oh, by the way, this page is full of or not. It's the or not, right? Whether or not. Whether to go to family reunion. Really? You're still weathering that? You're still weathering that? Whether to invest in leads. Are you kidding me? You're still weathering that? You got to get off of that. Whether to do estate plan seminars. Oh, gosh, you got to get off of that. Whether to do the 8 steps. Whether to go for more no's, whether to wear a suit or a tie, whether to give up, whether to start selling Medicaid, whether to listen to someone who earns more than me, whether to copy. Are you really weathering these? Are you really going through this? Whether I should attend hotspots, whether to forgive or forget, whether to be in President's Club, whether to participate, whether I should hot dog, whether to recruit. Are you kidding me? Come on, man. Listen. Do you want to know the secret to a clear and focused mind? Do you want to get out of the clouds? You want to get out of the fog when it comes to whether or not? Here's the secret. When you're faced with weather situations such as these, ask yourself a question. There's different ones you can do, but here's one. What would Andy do? What would my growing upline do? What would Andy do? Listen, when I go through things, when it comes to my business, I'm constantly asking myself, What would Andy do? What would Andy say? What would Andy wear? What would Andy ask? By the way, if you don't know what Andy would say, if you don't know what Andy would do, if you don't know how Andy would act, you're not reading enough of his books. You're not attending enough of his meetings. You're not attending enough of his conference calls. And if you still don't know, you apparently don't want to text him or don't want to call him because he wants you to. And he'll give you advice to get out of that storm and to weather that storm and to get through that storm. Listen, I mean, it's crazy that there was an event one time. I'll never forget it. But I've told this story before, but I wanted to wear this really bright pair of white pants. I mean, they were white. And I thought they would look sharp on stage. But that's a pretty glaring color, right? But I called Andy. I said, Andy, I'm speaking at this event that you've asked, and I want to wear these bright white pants because I want to pop with this shirt I got. Is it okay if I wear these bright? Because I've been here for all these years, and no leader ever walked across stage with these bright white pants, right? So I didn't want to do it without him and asking him. And I was going through the whether I should not, whether I should, whether I should not. And to clear up that weather, I just went to him and asked him. And he cleared up the weather just like that. Your growing upline, the person that's making the kind of money you want to make, the person that's having the kind of success you want to have, will help you weather the storm. Don't sit there and keep it to yourself. By the way, this is business weathers. We all deal with personal weathers. I mean, there's some people out there dealing with some really tough personal weathers. I mean, I can't even imagine whether I should steal or not, whether I should cheat or not, whether I should do drugs or not. Come on, there's some people doing some crazy weather discussions inside of their brain. And let me tell you something, and you know who I am, and you know my beliefs. But the ultimate one is what would Jesus do? I mean, I don't want to get religious on you or preach here, but come on now. Ask yourself when you're weathering these storms and you're weathering these decisions, what would Jesus do? That will help guide you and keep your head clear and focused, and you can accomplish so much more with a clear and focused mind. You can accomplish so much more with a clear and focused mind. Okay. Need to, have to, want to, love to. You know, all those twos, they sound fantastic, don't they? You hire an agent that needs to. You hire an agent that wants to. You hire an agent that says they have to. You hire an agent that even says he loves to, that would love to, but yet they never start to. You know, we don't, and sometimes we don't even know what their have to, want to, need to, and love to is, but we certainly can see a start to. All of us can see a start to. And it's so funny that a lot of us say those words, but we don't follow through because we're weathering the storm again. See, I would love to own a Ferrari. Really? Because what have I done to get one? Right? I would love to be JBM. Really? But so I say it, but do I mean it? I'm being critical on myself. I would love to make over $1 million a year. How can I say that? Because if I did say it and I meant it with all my heart, I would do what it took to get it, right? So, hey, I know I want it, and I know I want to, and need to, and have to, but I need to start to doing things that will get me to the places I want to be, right? I gotta tell you, participating producers get paid more and promoted faster because they start to do things. They don't just sit there and say, I need to, I have to, I want to, I'd love to. They actually start to participate in income-producing activities. Are you going to start to and just stop sitting there saying, I want to, and I need to, and I have to, and I'd love to? You know, this page is also where people expose their butts. And it's a shame they expose their butts because it's always backed with a butt. I love to, it's backed with a butt and the weather. The butt and the weather. They expose their butts and the weather. Matter of fact, I think they might have their heads up there. Anyhow, maybe not. I don't know. But it's like, I'd love to, but I don't know whether I could afford it. I need to, but I don't know whether I should miss my daughter's birthday to go to family. I want to, but I don't know whether or not. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You need to get rid of the butts, stop exposing your butts, keep them where they're supposed to be, and you need to weather the storm and ask yourself, what would Andy do? And get out there and get it done. And if you don't know what Andy would do, you need to ask him and text him, and he'll give you great advice to help you drive your business to another level. Here are the books. These are Andy's books. If you haven't read these books, whether you should or not, I'm telling you, you should. What would Eric do? Read the books. Get the books. Read the books. It's not whether or not you should do the 8 steps. You should do the 8 steps. It's not whether or not you should read the Millionaire's Maker Manual and do the things inside of it. It's you should. It's not whether or not you should read the House of Values and Behaviors that Jeff Bright and Terry Edwards did a fantastic job on Wednesday's TWC talking about, but you should read the book. Not whether or not, you should. Same as Inside the Circle. These 4 books will give you information on IPAs, income-producing activities. You need to be participating in these activities. You know that these books give you the information that helps with the transformation, getting you to the top of our organization, but it all starts with your participation. If you're not going to participate, I hate to say, how can I help somebody? So listen, there's a passionate participator and there's a passive participator. And I look at the word passive because we all get excited about passive income, and that's exciting, but passive participation is not exciting. Passive participation, passive participating agents is not exciting because the definition of passive means you don't take action, you instead wait for things to happen. Be a passionate participating producer, not a passive participating producer. But we definitely want you to be a participating producer. So, income producing activities. I got a few up here on the board. You got your hot knocks, your reading, your dials, your attend events, participating producers do income producing activities and make it rain. And when I went to this page, I had to say to myself, because we're talking about weather, so I had to come out and just let you know that I could sing. Winter, spring, summer, or fall. All you got to do is make calls. Make calls, make calls, make calls, and clients will be there. Yes, they will. And you have a friend. By the way, there's another tune. Winter, spring, summer, or fall. All you got to do is attend events, because we'll be there teaching you how to make it rain. That's the weather, right? That's the weatherman. I got to talk about winter, spring, summer, and fall. So, if you're not getting this, participating producers doing income-producing activities will make it rain. And we can help you make it rain. But you got to start to do. This man's dialing, hot knocking, selling at the kitchen table, attending sales training. Participating producers aren't deciding whether or not to do these IPAs. They just do them. They're not deciding whether or not to do them. They just do. Michael Jordan, just do it. Michael Jordan, just do it. Nike, just do it. Just do it. Don't think, do. Don't wonder whether or not you should. Just do. Have you heard the statement, weather permitting? Just to let you know, you are permitted to participate no matter the weather. It is whether you decide to, whether or not. So here, check this out. I made a promise to Andy Albright that I would be at an event. particular event was our first breakthrough event back in 2022. And before that event happened in September, a hurricane started brewing in the Atlantic. And it started moving towards Central Florida. Went around the bottom, came up through the Gulf, and then stripped over the state like a bad ally. And it was tearing up everything. Well, it happened to be active and a Category 1 on the day I was supposed to go. Airports were shut down. Airplanes had stopped moving. I promised Andy Albright I'd be a breakthrough. And I was sitting there saying to myself, whether or not I should go. My family was chiming in and telling me whether or not I should go. All I kept on hearing was whether or not I should go because of the weather outside. But I know what I promised Andy Albright. So I told my wife, I'm going. And I'm taking my car. I don't like driving 8 hours. I drive enough during the week with all the leads I get and all the hot knocking I do. I'd rather fly first class. But I decided to jump in my car and drive 8 hours there, and I had to come back 8 hours when it was over. A lot of windshield time. And I told my wife, it ain't going to be anything because I've lived in Florida all my life, and I've never had an issue with a hurricane. I'll be fine. She was worried out of her mind, but I'll be fine. I said, I'll even be on the phone the entire time. I know you're worried out of your mind. I'll be fine. I'll be on the phone with you the entire time. So I got in my car and I started driving. Everything was fine until I hit Volusia County. I was turning white. I'm a Marine and I was scared of fright. There were cars on the side of the road. There were semis on the side of the road. There were trees blowing across the road. I had went from 70 miles an hour down to 10 miles an hour, and I was crawling for about a 40-mile stint through Volusia County. Things were hitting the windshield. My wife said, "What's that?" I said, "It was a branch." And I was starting to panic on whether or not I had made the right decision. But I stayed on my phone the entire time. I said to my wife, "Listen, if I lose service, don't worry about it. Only if I don't call you back in a few minutes, because the tower could go down and I'm driving further out." But I said, "Listen," I was giving her the mile markers. I'm telling you the truth. I was giving her the mile markers. I'm passing mile marker. I'm passing mile marker. I'm passing mile marker. Because if I ended up in the ditch and I lost service, or I said, "Hey, I just ended up in the ditch and I'm upside down," I needed to make sure she remembered the mile marker. So she would call 911. I made it here safely. I'll never forget, we got into Flagler, South Jacksonville area. I saw the sun. I saw the bright sky. Oh, by the way, it was a glorious picture. I took a photo of it. It was like beautiful, man. I said, "Woo!" I made it through. And I decided to go. And I was happy that I did. And I got to experience Marcus Setta's first ever with the Alliance breakthrough event. And I know there was others of us who didn't make it, and other of us who didn't figure it out, and that's fine. But I made a decision. And I didn't let that weather in my brain cause any pain. And I went there because I wanted to make rain. So check it out. I remember an event that a bad snowstorm hit. And again, I don't live in the snow, and I don't want to. But I'll never forget, I heard planes were grounded, airports were shut down in this particular state, and people decided to rent cars and still get to the event. Question is, what would you do? If you were here during either one of those times? I'm not trying to pull you out, but what did you do? Because I don't know, nobody knows. But I used to have a manager at Circuit City that said, "Hey, if I turn on water and you get wet, that's on you." But it's what you did. I know what I did, and I know how I weathered that storms. So check it out. Current hotspots map. Participating producers attend whether they feel like it or not. Whether a lot of times it's about feelings. Oh, feelings. Whether you feel like it or not isn't a question. Are you kidding me? If I let that affect my decision making, oh my God. Oh my God, are you kidding me? I'll never forget. My wife, this is my worst day in the alliance. My worst day in the alliance, okay? That was probably my 6th year in. Actually, maybe not even my 6th year in, maybe my 3rd year in. My 3rd year in, and my wife had just had a major surgery, okay? A major surgery because of a major issue she was having, and I was really concerned. She was really concerned. And she was home finally from the hospital. She's in bed, and she's sleeping in late because you're going through a recovery. You sleep till 10, 11 o'clock in the morning. But I'm still out there making it happen, trying to make it happen, and I booked appointments on this particular day. After I got her home the day before, the next morning I had appointments. And the appointments, I had to drive like an hour to get to. It was crazy. Like I had to drive an hour to there, then about 40 minutes to there, then about 40 minutes to there. It was like I make a big diamond and then go back home. It's like my appointments for the day. But these appointments, I said to my wife, I woke up even though I didn't feel like it. I felt like staying home next to her in bed. I felt like comforting her and being with her. That's what I felt like doing. And I was deciding whether or not I should go out or not. And I decided to go. I got in my car and I went. At my first appointment, I'll never forget, I got to the door. And I don't know what message God was trying to deliver me up until the end, but I'll tell you the entire day. So I get there, and the person answers the door. They literally answer the door. And they sat there and said, "We're not interested." It slammed it in my face. Are you kidding me? Call me next time. Jerk. So I did some hot knocks, and I got to my next. I am telling you the God's honest truth. I don't exaggerate. I don't fabricate. I don't. I don't like exaggeration and fabrication. It's about facts, Katie. But get to my next appointment. It's an hour later. Get some hot knocking. Get to this appointment. Same exact thing. I mean, they're not hiding. They're not disguising that they're home. They literally answer the door and say, "We're not interested." So I am. I'm going. I could have been home in bed with my wife, but I made a decision to do this. And now I'm wondering whether I made the right decision. So I go to my 3rd appointment. It's hot knocks, whatever I did, got my 3rd appointment. God struck me double blind. This is a day from hell. And get to this lady's house. She is smoking like a sieve. I mean, just smoking like a sieve. And I get a really bad headache with smoking. So does my wife. And during this time, I'll never forget, I was wearing a tweed jacket because I was going through a phase of whether or not I should wear this or whether or not I should wear that, whether or not I should wear a jacket or whether or not I should wear a tie. I mean, I was trying to figure out how to make more money doing this thing. And I was that guy. Oh my God. And I didn't have a relationship with Andy Albright at the very beginning. I did not. And that was my fault. So I didn't have him to ask. I didn't know I could ask. I was never told he was accessible. I'm telling you he is. So you don't ever use that excuse. But anyhow, so I'm in a tweed jacket. She's smoking in front of me. I mean, she at least smoked 5 cigarettes during the appointment. I couldn't believe it. And the end result was she wasn't going to do anything because she couldn't afford to. And she literally used the words about when she dies, her kids can throw her body in the canal behind her house. She literally said those words. Talk about moron. As we look for protons, neutrons, electrons, you've heard me say that? Complete moron. And I kind of said, your cigarettes are costing you quite a bit of money. You just stop smoking cigarettes, you can leave your family up. She didn't hear it. So I left, and my head started to pound. Boom, 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 because of the smoke. And you don't tell me whether or not I was weathering a storm, whether or not I should say, what the heck? I can't believe I made the wrong decision. I should have stayed home. I get to the next house, an hour away. There's a guy in this house. He's also smoking. Oh, wait. No, yeah. I was going to say there's something happened, but it happens after him. He's also smoking. Oh, my God, he's smoking in front of me. And he's just smoking in front of me. And he also says at the end of the deal, he can't afford to. People who spend a couple of $100s a month on cigarettes can't afford life insurance. I'm sorry. So I leave this house, and at this point, my jacket gets taken off and thrown in the trunk because now my car is smelling like cigarettes. This is around 4 o'clock, and my last appointment ain't until 6. And remember, I went here, I went like here, I went like here, I went like here, and then my last appointment, I got to go down here to South Daytona, and then I shoot all the way back to Leon Springs to go home. But if I left from where I was at right now, I would get home faster and I would get home earlier instead of driving down to South Daytona. And the day already kind of explained itself. It's like, you made a mistake, 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 don't continue to make mistakes, go home. But I sat there and I called my wife from the parking lot of a Publix saying my head is pounding, I smell like smoke, the car smells like smoke, any house I go to next is going to think I'm a freaking chain smoker. Oh my God, I can't handle it. She goes, you got any aspirin in the car, any Tylenol in the car? I said, I've already taken some, it's still pounding. I think even my neck was pounding. I thought I was having a... And then she goes, just come home, honey. My wife said, just come home. Just come home. And I'm thinking whether or not this person's even going to no-show me or not, whatever, it's a waste of my time. Listen, I don't know, babe, I don't know. Let me sit here and make a decision whether I should go home or not. I made the decision to go because that was the right thing to do. And I got there early because I wanted to get home early. It didn't do any good because he got there on time. I was there 20 minutes early, like 20 till 6, but he still showed up at 6. I'll never forget this point. He walked me into the house. We sat down, we chatted. He had just retired from NASA. I sold him a final expense policy with Foresters for like $89 a month. Not a lot of money, but when you add it up on the commission level I was at back then, and with plan I was paying back then, I made about probably $600 for the day. So the entire day was a pain in the rear end, but I still made $600 for the day. Who wouldn't want to make $600 for a day? Okay? Well, the fact of the matter is, as I talked to him more and did this and did that, we ended up also rolling $100,000 of his 401k, and I made another $6,000 in commissions. So that, I'm telling you, truthfully, even though I made $6,600 that day, I'll always refer to that day as my worst day with the Alliance. Because of all I had to go through. But I went through it. Now, we're talking about these weather things that we go through. I told you I was in the Marine Corps. Do you think that a Marine has a choice to sit there and say whether he should fight or not? Whether she should pick up the gun or not? Whether they should bomb a place they've been ordered to or not? Well, I'm sorry, sir. I'm deciding whether or not I should follow that order. Come on, man. I'm trying to help you understand. Don't let weather destroy your future or destroy your success or hurt you. Don't let it. Anyhow, we have hot spots all over the country. You can see it's really hot down here in Florida, and we're trying to make it rain down here, and it's really raining because 50% of the top producers are coming out of Florida this year. 50% of the top 10% producers. So I'm talking 50% of the top 10% producers are coming down here out of Florida. You got some hot spot action happening over here in the Midwest. You got some hot spot action happening over here. You got some hot spot action up here in the Northeast. Don't know why we don't got any hot spot action happening over here. A little bit concerning, but anyhow, we got it. We got our hotspot back, and we need you to go to these events. The road to success is filled with obstacles and bad weather. We've talked about this. The road to success is filled with obstacles and bad weather. You have to decide whether or not you're going to go through them or not. And I'm not telling you the right decision was to go through a hurricane category 1. Because I got to tell you right now, I'm sorry, Andy, I'll never do it again. Because I learned that a category 1 is still a freaking hurricane. And I can't believe I drove through it, peeing my pants the entire time as a United States Marine. It was a scary day for this Marine. And I'm honestly telling you, I will never do it again. So I've made up my weather decision on that. But I did do it then. And it was a crazy decision then. But it was a pretty frightening decision. And I learned later that category 1s can still kill people. And I went like, oh my God, I thought it was just a category 1. One's nothing. Yeah, one's something. By the way, we're talking. Something happened recently. I don't know if an earthquake happened. I mean, I'm not a scientist, and I don't understand all these mathematical things. But exponentially, that word is a powerful word, I guess, because I'm reading this thing about a 9-point earthquake, a 9.2 earthquake, and all this stuff, And I said, well, I wonder what would happen if a 10.0 earthquake hit. The difference between a 9.0 and a 10.0? Oh my God. They said a 9.0 is equivalent to 25,000 nuclear bombs. A 10.0 is equivalent to 4 million nuclear bombs. I said, how can that be? It's just one number. It's just one number. It's just one number. So you're going from a 0 to a 1, a category 1. It's just a 1. Oh, it's a pretty serious hurricane. Anyhow, you shouldn't be driving in a category 1. When your car's going everywhere, you see semi-trucks flipping over. Yep, it's pretty frightening. Anyhow, we gotta understand the road to success is full of obstacles. But we have the men and women who have gone through them and can teach you how to follow their footsteps. We know the obstacles that you're going to face because it's part of this industry. We know what they are. And if you allow us, we'll guide you and mentor you and help you through those obstacles. So while you're weathering the storm and deciding whether or not, call that person. Call them and ask them, what would you do? That's probably a time I should have called Andy. He probably would have said, stay home. And I didn't because I know. Anyhow, damn. So anyhow, whether you decide to go through them is up to you. You like my little car there? N27. I like that N24. So, what are the reasons agents decide whether or not to participate in IPAs? I surveyed, no, I didn't survey any agents. But I'm basing this information on a guesstimation of the years of experience that I have dealing with agents and reading books, going to seminars, training. What are the reasons agents decide whether or not to participate in IPAs? Number one, they don't believe it will benefit them. They don't believe it will truly be a benefit to them. So they're actually fighting the weather decision by saying whether or not it will benefit them, whether or not family reunion will actually be worth their time, whether or not reading will be worth their time, whether or not investing in leads will actually benefit them, whether or not attending that hotspot will benefit them. They're fighting the fact whether or not it will benefit them. Are you kidding? Well, just look around at all the other people it's benefited and understand we are your belief. The winners circle and the Alaskan winners and the people that are out there at the top are showing you that you should believe because we bring that belief. Number two, they don't have the time. They don't have the time to do income-producing activities. What? They don't have the time to read. They don't have the time to hot knock. They don't have the time to attend meetings. They don't have the time to be on this conference call right now. I don't know what they're doing with their time. But like Andy Albright says, we got a lot of time. We got 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. People say you slice that up. Some people say you slice that up 8 hours to sleep, 8 hours to work, and 8 hours to play. Really? Well, some people break it up 16 hours to sleep and 16 hours to play. Number 3, they can't afford to. I can tell you, you can't afford not to. But they're saying whether they go or not is based on affordability. You don't know my story, folks. Do you understand? I was faced with a decision. My first Alliance event, my first major convention. Tickets were $450 a piece. $450 a piece. And then I still had to get there, and I had to still get a hotel. And I was broke as living. I mean, I didn't have nothing. Our house was being foreclosed on. Our cars were being stolen in the middle of the night. For those of you who don't know, we sold. I'm embarrassed to say this, but the house was being foreclosed on, and it was my house. We sold fixtures out of our house. We let people come in and take the fixtures, take the chandeliers. They took the freaking air conditioner. They didn't take it. We sold it to them. We needed money. We sold them our air conditioner outside. We sold them the fence that went around our backyard. Before we left the house that we paid for, I'm sorry to say, we stripped it. I'm sorry, but some of that stuff I put in there. I paid for that air conditioner. I paid for that fence. I paid for those upgrades. I needed to get some of my money back. I think we passed the statute of limitations for anybody who thinks that's wrong. But anyhow, I still needed money. That was during October, November, and December of 2008. And now 2009 is upon me, and I'm being told I need to get to this event. I'm going like, I got no money. $450, how am I going to get there? And you want me to bring my wife? Sorry, dude, I'm broke as a joke. I'll go out and sell a policy. I'm trying. They're slamming doors in my face. But I didn't quit. I sold my wedding band off my finger. And I asked my wife for hers. And she trusted me. She said, I believe you. And that's where we got the money to go to our first event. Don't tell me you can't afford to do this. Don't tell me you can't afford to go to family reunion. Not me. Don't tell me that. Tell other people that, but don't tell me that. And then fear. Fear. People fear the failure. They fear they won't do it right. They fear they don't understand how to do it. You overcome fear by facing it and going through it, not by avoiding it. I'm hoping this is coming out clear. And I'm helping you all because that's my purpose. I talked about it at the last event when Andy gives us this call. I mean, I'm talking to the country right now. I'm talking to every agent who got on this call, for every agent that will listen to it later, for every agent that's getting on now because they're being told to jump on. I take this as a very heavy responsibility. I told people at the last event I'm a Star Trek fan, and right now I have the bridge, and he's giving me the helm. I could fire multiple torpedoes if I want to. But he knows that I won't. And he had a choice whether or not to invite me to do this call. They have a choice of who they decide will do this, whether or it's... I'm trying to help you. I hope it's working. We have over 330, I didn't put the million there. Man, yeah, I did, right there, sorry. I was looking for the zeros. Anyhow, we have over 330 million people in our country, whether they know it or not, they are going to die one day. Our job is to protect them before they do. All you got to do is get your non-resident license in any state, and you can help these people. Did you know that? It's whether or not you knew that, whether or not you're going to do that, it's up to you. But all 50 states, you can help people. It's whether or not you choose to. I just picked up a non-resident license the other day in Missouri. It cost me $105. Just the other day. I asked my wife, do I have a non-resident license in Missouri? She goes, no, get it. We got a client. I had a client the other day call me from out of the blue because of referrals and everything I do out of Colorado. I asked my wife, do I got a license in Colorado? She says, yes, you do. Call him back, says, we can help you right now. No waiting. Do you understand? Now you know. Now you know. All 50 states, you can sell it. All you got to do is get your non-resident license. Whether you knew that or not is no longer the problem. Now, whether you do something about it is up to you. When we're going into these people's homes with mortgage protection, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Mortgage protection people, especially after COVID in Florida, a lot of Northerners came down. When you're sitting in a home and it's mortgage protection, chances are the new homeowner is new to the area and maybe new to the state. So you're going to just ignore all their friends and relatives in the state they came from? Or are you going to say, I love helping people anywhere in the country, so I know you moved from Ohio, I would love to help those folks. I know you moved from California, I would love to help those folks. I just wanted to make sure you knew that all 50 states, and I like the map, and I'm a weatherman, and I'm talking about the map. But anyhow, come on. To be put on a side. Whether you do it or not, now you know. Whether you do it or not is up to you. But you can get a license in any state you choose to. And you can help people. With all of the technology since COVID, with all of the e-app applications, and all the things you can do now with voice authorization and DocuSign, all following guidelines, you can help people in all 50 states. Don't forget, family reunion. The reunion is from August 2nd to August 4th, but get there August 1st for estate planning. This is our lead map. Participating producers invest in leads. If you don't know the color coding of the leads, it's right here to the left, and of course the lead performance department can tell you. A lead performance team can tell you. You got dark green, you got light green, you got white, you got pink, you got red. The pricing codes here, we got leads as low as $20. We got leads to as high as $100. You can see we got the country full of leads. We're looking for people that want to invest in leads, that want to help families across America. Whether you do it or not is up to you, but we're telling you should. We're letting you know you should. And I would. I do invest in leads. Participating producers have clients all over the place. The more you participate, the more clients you will generate. This is a Florida map, and these are not hurricanes. These are not little swells or little storms brewing up, but these are clients of mine. These are clients of mine. So in the county, and the county area that I'm in now, Indian River, Brevard County, the county I used to work in, over here I've got, by the way, I don't have the entire country map, but if I did, you'd see little splotches around the country because of people I help all over the country. What's your client map? What's your client map? You can look at your client map on ARC. You can go to CRM and view map. So listen. When the weather is great, what activities are you drawn to? What activities are you drawn to? Are you going to go out there tomorrow when the weather's great, telling us you don't have the time, you can't afford to, you can't make up your mind, but yet we catch you surfing, we catch you golfing, we catch you boating? I mean, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, right? What activities are you going to choose to do? Are you going to choose to do activities that will increase your income and help you get to high levels of success? Or are you going to choose these activities because the weather outside is great? Now listen, my wife and I have an ongoing joke, and but I still work. It's a joke, but I work my butt off, okay? Let me tell you something. Yesterday in Florida, it got to 91 degrees. Or down here, it got to 91 degrees. I don't know how hot it got in Miami, but I tell you what. And listen, I feel for those people that are up north when the winter comes, because I'm not a snowbird, and I don't like snow. But you got to understand, when you see top 10% producers for the year coming out of Boston, or coming out of New England, or coming out of Connecticut, I heart pounds for them. More power to you, baby, because you're out there with deep snow during the winter, while I'm down here enjoying life. But during the summer, I think we're pretty much all hot. But I tell my wife, when I'm out there hot knocking, when I'm out there running appointments, listen, I don't like when it rains, and I live in Florida. I do not like when it's over 85 degrees and I live in Florida. I don't like it, Sam I am. I don't like it. No way. And I don't want to be out in it. I don't want to be out in it. But I have no other choice. Because that's where the gold mine is at. The gold mine is out there, not in my house. The gold mine is out there. And I've got to go out there and make it happen. But man, I tell you what, the weather gets hot, the weather gets wet, and then I know when it gets freezing cold. Who wants to be out in that? So, but what are you going to choose to do when the weather's nice? Really? Are you going to choose to do this instead of the hot knocking, the dialing, the sitting with a client, going to a hot spot? Come on, man. Participating producers earn more points. Matter of fact, I just heard today we've got 3 people now that already have won the trip to Cabo. I think the 11 Toads have won. I know that Megan Wood has won. And oh my gosh, man, the guy that just, Andy Riddle, I think he just talked about him, or no, Robbie Kraft just talked about him on Facebook. Oh man, forgive me for not getting your name in my head.
Adam Burge.
Adam Burge just won it. 3 people are already going to join us at Cabo. But you understand, we've been to Paris, we've been to Italy, we've been to Barcelona, we've been to Greece, we've been to Canada, we've been to Fiji, we've been to Bahamas, we've been to Aruba, we've been to Mexico. I know Cancun and Mexico are the same thing. I just like putting up the names. We've been to Cancun, we've been to Cabo San Lucas, we've been to St. Martin, we've been on cruises, we've been to Maui, we've been to Ireland, we've been to Rome, we've been to Spain, we've been to Alaska, we've been to Hawaii. Holy crap, we've been to some places. I've been here 16 years. And all those places we went to, we were treated like kings and queens. The red carpet was rolled out and 5-star treatment began. Matter of fact, one of the cruises we went on was a 6-star cruise back in 2012 or 2011 called the Silver Seas. Now, all you got to do is to start doing income-producing activities, whether you want to or not, whether you feel like it or not, and you can join us in Cabo. And did you see that? I didn't even know it was that good of a resort. Oh my God. Wow, that resort looks bad. That Tia show. Come on, people. We want you there with us. We need you there with us. You've got to make the decision on whether or not you want to join. Because when you decide to join us, you'll join us. And that's all I've got for you today. There's no more slides. I'm a little bit early. Again, I have no time for any questions or any comments or any concerns. But I'll tell you what, I'm going to see you all at the family reunion. I know that. I'm all going to see many of you in Alaska. I know that. And I can tell you, family reunion, get there August 1st. Get there August 1st because the estate planning seminar is going to be that day. And then family reunion is going to be kicked off on the 2nd to the 4th. I love y'all. I'm glad you let me on the call and let me do this thing for y'all. Have a great day. God bless. Take care. Talk to y'all soon.